Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Joehead here again, and welcome to the Conclave, the Preamble, or Prelude, or Prologue, or whatever word you prefer. I like Preamble. Um, so I promised you guys that I would make another video, just explaining, what's going on with this and why I decided to do it and stuff like that, and here it is. So, this episode, chapter, preamble, is entitled My Paranormal Experience. Now, about probably 2 years ago, I I had an experience that made me very interested in what's going on in the world that we don't see and in the paranormal. And that is what makes me research these things and look into certain things and stuff like that. And I would like to share that with you guys right now. So, about 5 years ago, me and my current girlfriend started dating, and she would always tell me about weird things that happened in our house, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Normal uh, things with the trickster element. You guys will be hearing a lot more about the trickster element from me. It's probably one of the most notable things in any kind of paranormal or supernatural experience. Even as far as cryptids go, there can be a whole lot of trickster involved. Um, these things seem to tie together a lot when it comes to a lot of different things, and this is one of them. So, just normal things like things that go bump in the night, blah blah blah. So, she would tell me about all these experiences she had, and I'm not going to get into all of them right here. But needless to say, I I was skeptical at first, of course. You know, um being somebody of, you know, Christian faith, I, chalked it up to, you know, it's probably nothing, blah blah blah, angels and demons, this and that, whatever. So, um, one day we were alone at home, and it was probably around 2 p.m. or so. We were getting ready to go out, and we were both downstairs. I remember it crystal clear like it was yesterday. We were both downstairs, and she asked me, "Hey, can you go upstairs and get my hair clip off of the bed? I left it up there." Okay, sure, no problem. And so I go upstairs. I walk upstairs. I walk in her room. Literally look around for 2 seconds, and I walk back out and I say, "Hey, like, your hair clip isn't there." And she looks me dead in the eyes and says, "You just handed it to me." And now I'm like, okay, like you're messing with me, Um, so I looked at her and I said, "No, I didn't. Like, I just walked into your room. Like, definitely couldn't have just handed it to you. Like, you're messing with me." And I could just see like the confusion in her face, and she's like, "Well, you're messing with me, blah blah blah." So we went on back and forth a couple times with that, and we both realized that neither one of us was lying or messing around. So, you know, instantly she got this look on her face, like it was like, "Oh no, like that just happened." And like I said, I mean, before this, we already had, an understanding that stuff like this happened in our house and stuff. So, we started to talk about it, and she's like, "Yeah, you were wearing all the clothes you're wearing now, blah blah blah." But I really didn't get a good look at your face. I didn't see your face at all. Um, and like I said, nobody in the house was home at all, just us two. So it couldn't have been anybody else, not possible. Um, So, like I said, she couldn't remember what my face looked like, and that is, uh, a prime trait in paranormal experiences when you actually see something, or like a human figure or something like that, especially with ghosts or demons or anything not corporeal. Um, well, anything not thought to be corporeal. Um, there's always some distortion. There's always something. It's like, oh yeah, like you, your arms look ghostly, or like something like that. Like you didn't have a leg. Like there's always some kind of mistake, and just her not being able to get a good look at my face and not really remember what that looked like tells me that could be the case there. The other thing that was weird was that this all happened and I literally had just walked in her room. Like I said, like I remember it. Like I walked in the door, turned left, looked around on her bed for a couple seconds. Was moving the blankets around and stuff, trying to find this hair clip, and it couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 seconds that I walked out and said, "Hey, it's not there." Because the bed was made, you'd have been able to see it. It kind of gives me the sense now, like reflecting on it, that somewhere in there, like there was a time bubble. You hear a lot about people, losing time. It's like, oh, like, we've seen this happen, and then all of a sudden it was 2 hours later. Well, it was like time paused, and like for me at least, like, and like this instance happened within a matter of a couple seconds, which it probably wasn't very plausible. And like I said, I mean, there's no way that she was lying. I could see the fear in her eyes, and she wouldn't joke around or lie about anything. Like, she's not a good liar at all. So, uh, yeah, so we concluded that it was something paranormal and that's pretty gnarly, and moved on. But, inside I really didn't. And, I started to think a lot differently about things like that because, we all have our presuppositions. We all have our beliefs. We all have things we think about. We're all closed minded to a certain extent. And, but when something happens to you, when you experience something, that makes it totally different. Because you can't deny it. You can't chalk it up to this or that when you experience it, and it's like then you want to know more. And since then I've grown in a lot of areas of my life, including my personal beliefs and my personal faith. Like I look at things a lot different. I look at things as far as paranormal and supernatural things go a lot differently. So, that is what I've always wanted to do, something like this. I mean, I've always wanted to do like a podcast. Like I call this a Twitch cast because I enjoy streaming. But it's basically, my freaking attempt at a podcast, my horrible attempt at a podcast here. So, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys can be open minded and maybe learn a little bit, or help me learn as far as this kind of stuff goes, because it's one of those things where you're never gonna know anything. You know what I mean? Like all you can really do is share experiences and take what you can out of them. Um, there's not really an explanation. Like you really can't explain these things because it seems like they're beyond us. So, like I said, you know, after this happened to me, it made me want to explore. It made me explore a lot. I read Dr. Malachi Martin's book, Hostage to the Devil. It's all about demonic possession and, demonic oppression and stuff like that. And it has 5 different stories about exorcisms in it, as well as, like, the exorcism rite and all kinds of stuff like that. please check it out. I'll probably do something on, angels and demons, or just demons or whatever later on. I have a couple things lined up right now that I'd like to do, so it won't be probably anytime soon. I don't know how often I'm going to make these videos. Hopefully a lot. It's just, I want to keep it current. I want to make it, so that it's new stuff that's happening. Obviously, as far as like knowledge and stuff like that goes, like there's going to be a lot of stuff that people already know, but like I said, I want to keep it current and try to do things that are happening around now because I keep up on that stuff. That stuff interests me. I've read a lot of books. I'm currently reading a lot of books. I did an episode, my first episode, which this one's technically before that one, so don't mind that. But my first episode was on the Mothman and his appearances in Chicago. Still keeping my eye out for, anything going on in Chicago or anything like that. But, I read the Mothman prophecies. Doing that series actually, or doing that episode actually made me want to watch the movie again, which the movie is incredible. The guy that wrote the screenplay for it just did a fantastic job of, converting a book that's not really, it's not really a coherent story into a movie, and it's great. So make sure you guys read that book and watch the movie as well, The Mothman Prophecies by John Keel, and The Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere as the main actor. But not to get too far off on a tangent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you will come with me on this journey and, share your experiences as well. If you guys have anything that you want me to look into around your area, I'd love to do stuff like that. My next episode is actually going to be for one of my followers, and it's stuff happening in his area, so I'm not going to spoil that. You'll see when it comes out, but seriously, thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. I'd really like to do these live, so let's make it so that there's enough content and enough of a following so that I can do this live. That is the goal right now. So thank you guys so much. That was my paranormal experience and why I'm into the paranormal and cryptozoology is supernatural, yada yada yada. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time on the Conclave.